We need, by His divine grace, Bhakti Goswami, we need good association, and then affection will grow. Otherwise, the fitness will not come for us to progress in the higher plane. First, a relationship will come through association, and when a relationship is formed, affection may come. It is first necessary to have a relationship with Guru and Vaishnava, the devotee of God. Otherwise, affection cannot be ours. Here, we must know that regard for Guru and Vaishnava is necessary before affection. Then progress will come to us. Ado shraddha tata sadhu sango to bhajana kriya tato anartini vritti syat tato nishta. Affection comes to us through nishta and then ruchi. Divine relationship is always closely connected with sadhu sangha, association with the saint or pure devotee of God. But before that, shraddha or faith is necessary. If faith is firm, then we can try to have a relationship with the sadhu. And through the association of the sadhu, learning to serve with devotion and becoming purified of evils, a higher plane of affection may come to us. But it is first necessary to go through 3 or 4 stages before affection. Still, it may come to some immediately. Affection is within everyone, and it can grow without any cause. Even in this mundane world, we can sometimes see that from the very first day of meeting, some people are very good friends. As soon as they see each other, affection comes immediately. Similarly, it is also possible in spiritual dealings, but before that, some sukriti, good fortune, must work in the background. When practicing spiritual life, doing what we call sadhana, at that time it is necessary to have the association of the saintly devotees. Through that association, regard grows within, and hankering rises. Actually, hankering gives affection, but until we have real hankering for the divinity, it remains suppressed. After purification, firmness will come, and from that, ruchi or taste for the divine will come. And from ruchi, affectionate relationship begins. But all these things are attained through association of the saintly devotee. Without that association, divine serving activity is not possible. When one is not qualified, the proper serving may not be accomplished. In an unqualified way, one's mind may wander at random, thinking, this is perfect, that is perfect. But because one is living in the environment of illusion, it will not be real service. No doubt, by good fortune, it may be sometimes correct, but generally it will not go in the correct line, because the illusory environment will misguide us. Anur aniyan mahato mahiyan. If we say that Brahman, the spirit, is very great, the idea of greatness will mean something like the sky. Beyond the sky, we have no idea of greatness. But such knowledge will not act there. The transcendental world is completely separate and beyond this knowledge. So generally we shall go the wrong way. This is why the proper association, sadhu sangha, is necessary. There are 2 kinds of sadhu sangha. When we have no person sadhu to associate with, the holy books will help us. But if we have the association of a good sadhu, we can attain the divine goal under his guidance directly. Not everyone will feel affection. Good fortune will work in the background. With strong good fortune, one can immediately cross over the next 3 stages after association with the sadhu. But this is possible in very special cases only. Our Guru Maharaj used the word affection, but it is necessary for us to know the line in which he did so. Affection is possible everywhere, even from the lower level to the higher level. Somebody wants to feed others. That is also a kind of affection. He does not want to eat so much himself, but he would rather feed others, and this gives him pleasure. If anybody eats more at that time, the affection of the distributor immediately goes to that person. That if you're that people who feed others, they get some satisfaction from that, and it's an expression of affection. And if somebody who they're serving wants more, then they'll have more affection for that person. You have a pot of sweet rice and nobody wants any, then you're very sad. So then if somebody wants some, and if somebody wants seconds, then you're really happy. It's actually like a kind of curse to have something that nobody wants. Like you want to give something. There's one story mentioned somewhere in the scriptures. Srila Sridhar Maharaj tells of it, of a man who, he was very wealthy. I don't remember if it was in knowledge or in like money wealth, but he was very, he had a lot of something, but he was very miserly. He wouldn't share. He wouldn't help anybody. And so in his next life, he was cursed to become a tree that had all these wonderful fruits, but nobody would ever eat their fruits. It's like a painful position. And Srila Gurudev, there was one time, we heard from Ashram Maharaj. It's recorded also one time where Gurudev's telling it, where there were some children, this was in the Mat in Navadvip, and there were some children who were coming into the Mat and stealing the mangoes from the Mat's trees. And so somebody like chastised those children for that. This is meant to be offered to the deity, you can't take this fruit. And so Gurudev heard about that. And then that devotee, of course, thought like they're doing the right thing, But Srila Gurudev heard about that, and he said, no, that the tree will be very sad, if you don't allow those kids to take their fruit, That gives the tree some joy, that to see these children taking her fruits, and then, oh yeah, I heard this on a recording where Ashram Maharaj, it was in front of Gurudev, and Ashram Maharaj was telling of how this exchange took place before. And then Gurudev added, actually the tree will give more fruit. The tree will be so happy to see that its fruit is being enjoyed, that it will give more fruit, So this is a type of mood. He's saying they don't want to eat so much themselves, they would rather feed others. And they'll have more affection if somebody wants to take more. If anybody eats more at that time, the affection of the distributor immediately goes to that person. Another example is that even before a child is born, affection for the child grows in the mother's heart. When there is a firm relationship, affection may be established, and the relationship will be firm through the sadhu sangha. Everyone has a relationship with everyone, but feelings are manifest according to the relationship. Even if people may not know that they are relatives, by birthright they have an automatic relationship with him. Sometimes our Guru Maharaj would say that by dharma buddhi, a virtuous attitude, sense control is possible. At that time, a relationship with the higher will also come to us through that virtuous attitude. Affection for the higher will grow if we keep a virtuous attitude. I know that this medicine is bitter, and my tongue and senses do not want to accept it. But my intelligence will give me more than that. My intelligence can say, if you take this bitter thing, your health will be better. then affection comes to us for that bitter medicine. In this way, we can try to have a proper relationship. In the Mahabharata, we are taught that when we are not sufficiently eager to have a relationship, it can be established by a virtuous attitude. That virtuous attitude is living within us. We may be living in the mundane world, the illusory environment, but virtuous attitude does not forsake us. So, our mind and our senses, they can pull us in so many directions, but we're not allowing ourselves to be controlled or guided by that. We're maintaining this dharma buddhi, this virtuous mentality, and following the, trying to follow according to the shastric version, guru version of things. We may have to at times ignore the version that our senses are pulling us towards and follow that line of dharma with this mood of virtuousness. So that is very helpful for us within this bewildering environment. We may be living in the mundane world, the illusory environment, but virtuous attitude does not forsake us. Otherwise, we would live randomly. We do not live at random. When someone is traveling opposite to my direction, there will be a clash or a crash if I don't leave some room for him. That is virtuous attitude. When affection is not openly expressed, it is necessary to correct our vision. Then it will come. Sometimes during the time of Srila Guru Maharaj, he would insist on some plan of action according to his desire, but we could not understand his logic. And if we objected, he could not understand our idea either. Still, we followed Guru Maharaj's idea, virtuous attitude. And when the results came, we would think, "Oh, Guru Maharaj has done so much good for me." This happened many times. Sadhu Sangha, if we can follow, it will give us relief from so many things. It will give us a very good result in the future. But all depends upon Shraddha, faith. Ado Shraddha, tata Sadhu Sangha. First faith, then the saintly association is ours. And the translation of Shraddha is more than just faith, it is actually affectionate faith. Chanting the holy name is also like this. We are chanting Hare Krishna, but are we really chanting? Or are we just creating a completely material sound vibration? Srila Rupa Goswami has described this very nicely. Atashi Krishna namadi nabhaved grajam indriyai. How should we chant? Sevan muke hi jivadao swayam eva spurtyada. He will reveal himself. When he is happy with us, he will feel, here is my dancing stage. If we properly prepare that stage, he will happily come to dance on our tongues. We cannot expect to catch the holy name with our mundane tongue. The holy name is transcendental, and we cannot catch it by the use of our mundane senses. This is why Guru Maharaj gave much importance to service life. Seva is service. The attitude of service is necessary. And when we are firm in our service attitude, the stage will be automatically built in our bodies. So many say they are initiated, but have they got real initiation or not? In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Diksha kale bhakta kore atma samarpam, se kale Krishna tare kore atma sam. When one is initiated by a genuine guru, because the guru is non-different from Krishna, Krishna will take the full charge of the disciple. And when Krishna does that, nothing mundane can remain. Atma sam means transcendental. So this verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gurudev would quote sometimes, and there's this like an implication here that real initiation means when you fully surrendered. It's saying Diksha Kale, like at the time of Diksha, the time of initiation, Bhakta Kode Atma Samarpan, when the devotee Atma Samarpan fully offers themselves, then say Kale Krishna Tade Kode Atma Sam. Then Krishna accepts them like to be as good as himself, something like that, or like with it he will give them a transcendental form, something like that. So the implication is there that initiation means when you fully surrender yourself. So therefore, if you formally take an initiation but you haven't fully surrendered, then you haven't really taken initiation. Sriyukta Maharaj, he told me that Srila Gurudev gave initiation to his brother Manohar by telephone, and Gurudev told Sriyukta Maharaj that the initiation depends upon his faith. Like normally we'll do the ceremony. You have a basket and flowers and yada yada yada. But it would also be done by telephone sometimes. And what the real transaction is faith. That the disciple is saying, I believe in you, I'm going to follow you, I'm putting my faith in you. And the guru is saying, I'm accepting you, and I'm going to try to help you. That's really what the transaction is. And the ceremony is something to support our faith, actually, like to mark that as a special moment, and to consolidate the offering of the disciple offering themselves. But the real thing is that inner transaction and the faith within the heart of the disciple. So this is like quite a heavy point, we've all taken initiation, or have we? How much have we actually given ourselves? When one is initiated by a genuine guru, because the guru is non-different from Krishna, Krishna will take the full charge of the disciple. And when Krishna does that, nothing mundane can remain. Atma Sam means transcendental. Krishna makes him transcendental. When he surrenders to the Guru, Krishna makes him transcendental. Se deha kore tar chidanandamoy. His form appears the same, but it is transformed to a transcendental form. We see this devotee seated here, but his form is transcendental. Se deha means that body takes a transcendental form. Then aprakriti dehe Krishna charana bhajai. After that, the disciple does bhajan, divine service, and Krishna accepts his service. So where is the justification of all this? If everyone says it is all false, then will no one take initiation? So what's the point then? But another part of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains to us that this is a certain stage of development. Brahmanda Brahmite kon Bhagyavan Jeev Hu Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So this is a very famous verse. You all know from Chaitanya Charitamrita that the soul is wandering through so many Brahmandas, so many universes, and wandering, the fortunate soul, the Bhagyavan Jeev, they receive the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of the creeper of devotion, by the grace of Guru and Krishna. So Bij, they've received the seed. And then Gurudev here is quoting from his own pranam mantra, Prem no hi bija pradam. That, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is, what he, and, Gurudev saying that, Srila Sridhar Maharaj was saying that Gurudev is able to give the seed of prema. Prem no hi bija pradam. The Guru takes the responsibility to give the seed of Krishna prema, love of God. So maybe we're not there yet, but we have that seed. So we are not to be hopeless. Now if we are given the seed, if we plant it properly, it will gradually become transcendental. This is the inner meaning. So we cannot be hopeless. The other day I said that we have got two very great gurus. One is Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and one is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. So we have no doubt that we have also got the real seed. The seed is genuine. We see that all over the world people are chanting Hare Krishna. It is a fact. Everybody knows now. Even in Russia, there also they know about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Also in Hungary. And this consciousness was given by Srila Swami Maharaj. And Srila Swami Maharaj considered Srila Guru Maharaj as his guru. So we have no doubt that we have not only got a great guru, but we have two great gurus. They are Karnadara. They are our guardians. The guru is the captain of the ship. If we do not follow the orders of the captain, that is our defect, not his. So we should now try to plant that seed properly. That duty is called bhajana kriya, or proper performance of devotional duties and services. Through that, anarti nivritti, or purification, will automatically come. So through this chapter, Gurudev's been repeatedly referring to these famous verses of Rupa Goswami, which you all know, is outlining the development of bhakti. Ado shraddha, first there must be some faith. Of course, before that, before faith, there has to be sadhu sangha. So it will start with agyata sukriti, unconscious sadhu sangha, we can say. Unconsciously coming in connection with the sadhus and thereby acquiring some sukriti. So that will lead one to development of some faith, and then that will lead to substantial sadhu sangha. So ado shraddha, tata sadhu sangha, tato bhajana kriya. Then in that association, one will begin, one will accept shelter of Guru and Vaishnava and will begin bhajana kriya, means our practicing life, our devotional practices and service life. And then through bhajana kriya, the next stage will automatically be affected of anarti nivritti, the purification of anartha, all that is impure or unnecessary, or the word artha has different. One meaning of artha is meaning. So one meaning of anartha is that which has no meaning. So all the meaningless things within us. Because really it's true, all the they're all the soul is bright and pure, and all these things we've acquired, they have no meaning, they're superficial, meaningless things. And it's like the covers that are obscuring that true self. So then anarti nivritti, that through the service, through bhajana kriya, anarti nivritti will automatically take place, that purification. And then there's lots of stages after that, but I haven't learned them. No, then there's nishta. And nishta means this, once that purification takes place, then nishta. Nishta means like this steadiness where one is fixed in 24 hours service connection, with no attraction, no anarthas to struggle with, And then after nishta comes all of the more developed stages of attachment, of real attachment, and nishta. And then ruchi, taste, ashakti means attachment, and then bhav, and then prema, like that. And then there's some more as well. But there was Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he told of how when he first joined the Gaudiya Math, he overheard one conversation that took place between, it was Professor Sanyal and I think it might have been a sannyasi who was asking Professor Sanyal. They asked him, like, when does one, or how does one really get free from anarti nivritti, or when does one get free from it, or something like that. And Professor Sanyal said, never. You'll never be free. We'll never be free from anarti nivritti. We'll always be there in anarti nivritti. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he was like a newcomer at the time, and he heard that, and he was a little puzzled, because he thought, well, hang on, Srila Rupa Goswami has described these stages in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and we know that there are stages after anarti nivritti. So what does he mean by that, And then later on, Srila Sridhar Maharaj understood that Professor Sanyal, that it was like in the sense that the devotee will never feel that they're past that. The devotee will always feel that they're lacking something, that there's still some purification that needs to take place, even for those who reach the highest stage, they still have that mood, A sense-controlled person is free from mundane attachment. We are fortunate that we have seen many of such souls. But all credit is to my Guru. He can make a crow into a Garuda. No credit is mine. If I feel anything is to my credit, then I fall to the worst position. And such a sentiment must come from the heart, not just formally. If somebody wants to show, I am a Vaishnava, so I must show my humility, that is not Vaishnavism. Because this is also something that can happen. It just becomes this superficial thing, That is not Vaishnavism. Humility will come from the heart. That is real humility. And that humility will be, in connection to the higher plane, It won't just be about having manners, being polite with everybody, That was something I appreciated about Shuddha Shava Prabhu, because he was a little rough, he wasn't always the most polite person, but he had something really authentic, and the humility that he would express, it was always something very genuine, and he wasn't ever and in his exchanges with the devotees, he always wanted to be, he was, not that he wanted to be, but he was, just always very authentic and genuine. And, he may not have always been polite to you, but he might put his life on the line for you, in a more authentic way, he would be there for you, even in our general experience, we know people like that, there may be those who are always very, very polite and very respectful and very friendly, but it's something superficial, And then there are those who may be might be rough with you, very familiar, but they actually really care about you and they're ready to do something for you, So yeah, this Trinada Piya. Of course, if you're polite, then you can save yourself some unnecessary trouble in the mission. But that's not enough, to actually go deeper, in a substantial way. Then it has to be something else. It has to be in connection with the Lord, with Guru, with higher principles. It will be within the relativity of the higher plane, and it will come from the heart. And then also real humility, it may be expressed in very unexpected ways, Maybe expressed by, chastising somebody or slapping somebody. That may be a real expression of humility and love, because it's in the relativity in consideration of higher principles. So, well, that's the end of that chapter. Well, I guess we could stop there. Should we stop there? Very nice to hear from Gurudev. Gurva Vishta Shapudakam Guru Ganer Shisha Sambhushitam. What is the next thing? Guru Ganer Shisha Sambhushitam. Chincha Samasta Veda Nipunam Shirupa Pantanam Govinda Biramuchvalam Varatanam Bhaktyambitam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guruncha Divya Bhagavat Premno Hi Bija Pradam. That's the very last phrase, is it? Vande Vishwa Guruncha Divya Bhagavat Premno Hi Bija Pradam. Yeah, that's the last phrase. I heard that Srila Gurudev appreciated that line, because it's like it's not like it could be like giving prema, but it's like kind of a more particular description of what it is, like he's giving the seed and you have to take care of that seed, There's some work on our side,
It's the beginning.
Yeah. And at this point about affection is very nice. There's also a place in, that we may not, in a broad sense we can say like affection for our practicing life, or a seva, or we may not always feel affection for that, but through the cultivation of like this sense of duty, this regard, this virtuousness, then through that affection will come for that, like Gurudev gave that nice example of the medicine, taking bitter medicine. And there's a nice chapter in A Real Truth where Srila Gurudev's also speaking about that, how in the mat with Srila Shuddha Maharaj, Srila Shuddha Maharaj was very strict, but Gurudev understood that all of his expectations, all of his rulings, it was all coming from a place of deep affection, and it was for their good. And so therefore Gurudev said he never, although their lifestyle was very austere, he didn't, and it was very strict, the expectations, he didn't feel that, because he knew it was Guru Maharaj's affection, and he was like reciprocating with that. So like that, that consciousness can help us. And then also in our relationships with the devotees, like Gurudev is saying, sometimes affection may come immediately, but in other cases, sometimes you build relationships over years, and just through maintaining a respectful attitude, then over time you can come to appreciate them more and develop a greater degree of affection for them. So that mentality is very, very helpful for us. And that's very much like the Vedic mood, like encouraging, because that's like the stage before affection, before love. That's what the whole Varnashram system is about. Like it's about duty, living a dutiful life. So before love, before affection, there's duty. In Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he describes those different different approaches to the Lord, fear, gain, duty, and love, So duty is a very noble thing, and through, continuing with that sense of duty, then love, affection, that can grow from that. So it is very helpful for our, to remember that, to keep us on track, keep us steady. It is a valuable consideration for us. Okay. Well, Vanya Didi promised that she would sing Hari Harai Nama Krishna. I have a small pair here. Is that? Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Ki Jai.